Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven and welcome back to another episode of Raven Wants to Own a Rental Property. I changed the name of the series in every episode because it doesn't really have a name. Comment down below what the actual name of this series should be, because we need an actual name. There's gonna be several more episodes, okay? Help me out. But yes, we are back for another video updating you guys on what's been going on with the process of me buying an investment property, investing in real estate, owning a rental property, this whole journey that I've been on for the past couple of months. If you are not caught up with all the other episodes in this series, I highly suggest you go back and get caught up. It's gonna give you all the information that you need. It's gonna answer all your questions and it's gonna get you up to speed for today's video. Quick recap of the last couple of videos though. I showed you guys a total of 10 different houses that I looked at, and there was one that stood out as my favorite in the last video. And as you can probably guess, or as you may already know if you follow me on Instagram, I did actually go ahead and make an offer on that house. So quick little recap of that house. It was a really cute single-story, single-family home, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. The house itself looked really nice from the outside, and on the inside it just needed some updating because it was built in 1999, but it didn't look like it needed too much work, and it just seemed like the perfect project and the perfect type of home that I wanted to invest in. So it was listed for $435,000, and like I keep saying, the market in Austin right now is crazy, and if something is going for a certain price, it's most likely going to sell for a much higher price, especially when you're talking about the hot commodities as far as being in a nice neighborhood and having really good bones to the house, and you know, the things that I was looking for that I wanted to invest in, that's what everybody else is looking for as well. So yeah, it's just a really competitive market. It's a whole different situation than when I bought this house that I live in. If you don't know, I was a first-time homeowner when it came to this house. It was my first time. Up until then, I had always just rented apartments and stuff, but with this house, I built it from the ground up. So that's like a whole different process. There really was no competition. There was no like putting in your offer. It was just like, okay, this is what the lot costs. If you want this lot, this is what this floor plan costs. If you want this floor plan, everything was just kind of like, this is what it costs. You know what I mean? Pay for it. We build it for you. Boom, there you go. Obviously it wasn't that simple, but it just was a different situation, you know, building a house, buying a lot, building a house versus buying a pre-owned home or whatever you want to call it. So needless to say, this was all very new to me as far as putting in an offer, let alone right now when the market is so crazy. But I am working with a very trusted realtor who of course was there to walk me through the whole process. And essentially my realtor was like, okay, let me know what your max budget is, because we don't have time to play games. Okay, we need you to just put in your best and final offer, because I already know that there's going to be multiple offers coming in. This house is listed for $435,000, but he went and checked the comps, which is just like comparable houses that have recently sold that are similar or in the same like neighborhood. And based on that, he came back and told me that he felt like this house, even though it was listed at $435,000, it was probably going to sell for $475,000, if not more. Now, I went into this, you know, not super strictly, but basically saying that my max budget was $500K. He advised me that in a situation like this, where you're pretty sure there's gonna be essentially a bidding war, there's gonna be multiple people putting in multiple offers, and it's competitive, he's like, it's always best to add a couple of extra thousand and not just have it be exactly $500K, but have it be like 502, 503, 504, just because that little bit extra could bump you up above the competition.
I just was talking to your mom right before you called about how I don't, in these multiple offer situations, I don't like to have even numbers. A lot of people make a target just like that, and I would encourage you to throw in
like 502.
Yeah, like 502.
Okay.
Just give you the insight of how this thing gains out.
Okay. And in the grand scheme of things, it's just $3,000 extra dollars, which, you know, $3,000 is not a little bit of money, but when you're talking about $500K versus $600K, you know, we could do 503. So I thought that was a really good, interesting little piece of advice. So I took his advice and I said, okay, my best and final offer for this home is going to be $503,000, which felt really crazy saying that just because that's a big number, period, but also because the house was listed for $435 and I'm offering $503, but that's just how it is right now. And I really trusted my realtor, so I don't know. The thing is, buying a house like this is not like an auction where everyone is standing around and everyone's saying how much they're gonna offer and you get to directly see what everyone else is offering and go back and forth. Oh, she said 500, I'm gonna say 503. It doesn't work like that. You don't get to see what everyone else is offering. You don't get to see what the previous offers already are. So you're basically bidding blind. So I pretty much had to just say, this is my best and final offer, and just hope that I was the highest bidder and hope that my offer was accepted. But there was no way for me to really know. So we did all the paperwork and submitted my offer. So it was a little bit of a waiting game, but not too long, because it was only a few days later that I got the email that my offer was accepted. Woohoo! Let me call my mom to verify.
Hello?
Is that what that means?
Hey, you won!
I got the house! Oh my God, it doesn't feel real. This is a big moment. It's happening. I'm officially a real estate investor lady. I was so excited because even though it's like, I feel like I won something, even though I'm paying for it, it's not like I won a free house, but I was just really excited that I got the house that I wanted, because it is a competitive market, and like somebody could have easily snatched it away from me and, you know, offered to pay a little bit more, and then I wouldn't have been able to get it, and that would have been really sad because I really like this house. But I got it. My offer was accepted, and so yeah, I got the house. It's crazy, but just that fast, like, okay, wait, I'm buying a house. Now, I don't technically own the home until we go through all the whole process of all the paperwork, getting the appraisal, getting the inspection. There's so many different steps you have to do when it comes to buying a home. And then you have your closing date where you actually sign everything, pay your down payment. And then once that's done, then you own the home and you get the keys and like, you officially own it. I have not had my closing date yet as of me filming this video. It's gonna be like in a couple of weeks, but for the most part, like there should be no reason why anything happens to where I don't actually end up owning the home. So for all intents and purposes, that's a phrase that people, fun fact, let me just do a little caveat here. Fun fact, that's something that people say wrong all the time. People say for all intensive purposes is what most people I think say, but it's actually for all intents and purposes. I'm pretty sure. That actually might still be wrong. But anyway, you know what I'm trying to say? Pretty much I own the home, right? Now, I am not buying this house full out in cash. I'm not just pulling $503,000 out of my bank account and being like, here. I am getting a loan, I am putting down a down payment, I'm getting a loan, and I will have mortgage payments on this home. So the initial investment is the down payment, but then I do have the mortgage payments. But since I'm going to be renting out the home, what my tenants are paying me in rent should pretty much cover the mortgage payments. So it's kind of like it's paying for itself. And that's kind of the whole main idea of this investment of, you know, owning rental property. That's like kind of the whole point. So the rent payments cover the mortgage payment. So it's kind of like paying for itself. And then eventually it will start to generate a profit because the mortgage payment is being paid off, but the people are still paying me rent. It's gonna get to a point where it like evens out and then it starts generating a profit because they're still paying me rent and the house is already paid off. Another way that it could generate profit is if I decide to sell the home later on down the line and the home ends up being worth more than what I bought it for, which usually houses do appreciate at least a little bit, and you usually are able to sell homes for more than what you bought it for, especially in a market like this where everything is just going up anyway. Now that's not a guarantee because different things happen with the market. Sometimes you have like a market crash where it does the complete opposite. You don't ever technically fully know what the future holds, but for the most part, the idea is that this is going to generate profit. It's going to generate you know, generational wealth one way or another. So the initial investment is going to be the down payment, like I said, but the other part of the investment is actually the money that I'm going to be putting into this home to update and remodel the home. It's built in 1999. There's definitely some outdated things that just need to be updated in order for it to be suited for renters, and you know, some extra things that maybe I just personally feel like need to be done. So I will be investing money into the property to do these updates. But the good thing about this part of the investment is that everything that I spend to update the home is actually going to be able to be a tax write-off. So it's still going to be an investment. It's still going to be a cost on my end, of course, but it's going to help me when it comes to taxes. And I really didn't have a set budget for the remodeling budget, just because I knew it was going to highly depend on, you know, what house I ended up getting and just what the house needed. But for this house, just kind of, you know, first impressions off the top of my head, I would like to stay around like $40,000 for the remodeling budget. Now, I'm just gonna say right now, that could end up being totally off. Based on what I know right now, that should be more than enough, but you know, we gonna see. So I have not even closed on the house yet, but I have no doubt that everything is gonna go smoothly with that, and there should be no reason why I don't close on the house. So, you know, manifesting. We're just gonna move on and move forward with the plan. So in the meantime, while I wait for my closing date, I wanted to just kind of get a move on with the process. So I met up with my mom, my dad, my realtor, and Carrie, who I'm working with as a design consultant and project manager. And then she's also working with a general contractor. So them two together, they are serving as my guides, my managers, my contractors, whatever you want to call it, the main go-to people for this remodeling project. This is super crucial for me because y'all have seen what it's been like with this house that I live in and the different remodeling projects I've tried to do, the different add-ons and stuff I've tried to do, and how much of a nightmare it has been with this house. And a lot of that just comes from, it's just me and my mom acting as project managers, acting as general contractors, just hiring who we think we should hire and just not necessarily knowing what we're doing when it comes to that type of stuff. So we obviously didn't want to dive into this investment property with those same circumstances and just have those same problems. So we knew it was going to be super important to have somebody on the team who has experience, who knows what they're doing, and who can really professionally guide me through this remodel. So we all met up at the house to do an initial walkthrough, and basically the plan was to just show them the house because they had never seen it in person yet, and just literally do a walkthrough and just point out things like this needs to be changed, this needs to be updated, we need new cabinets, new flooring, whatever. And this is really Carrie's time to tell me her professional opinion on what actually needs to be done, what's gonna be worth doing and not worth doing. And of course, it's my investment at the end of the day. I own this home, my name is on the home, my name and only my name, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, all decisions come back to me, and I am in charge, and I do get to make the final decision on everything, but I don't know what I'm doing. So I am all ears. I am like, please tell me your recommendations. I trust you. Don't hesitate to just, you know, say what you think. My parents have owned several homes in their lifetime, so they do have a good amount of experience when it comes to just homes in general and remodeling and stuff like that. So I also, you know, wanted to hear their opinion as well. But the main person that I'm really listening to is Carrie.
Hey everybody, this is Cesar. He's my contractor. We work together on all the projects, and he's got great subs, crews that we work with. What I recommend on flooring always is let's do the same floor throughout the whole house. All we do is come in and we demo all of this, take it down. There's nothing structural to this, right, Cesar? There's nothing structural here. We just lower it. And then I think take a nice cute chandelier for over a table of chairs is a cute idea here, keeping that some kind of a chandelier look there for the eating kitchen. This could even be staged as an office.
I was thinking that, yeah.
Can lighting is just going to give you the biggest light, and light is what makes everything look bigger and better.
This is all broken
All
apart.
that's, so
None of
that's,
this assembly here doesn't work very well either.
maybe this is gonna have to be.
Whole new door.
Yeah, possibly.
That was the litter box room, I'm sure.
Probably.
Just makes you wonder.
Include the kitchen, paint the cabinets, and all the appliances work.
This is Formica.
This is the plastic coated.
I don't think that it's gonna accept the paint.
So we can paint the bases, uppers and lowers, replace the cabinet fronts and the drawer fronts.
You either go and you do the remodel on this kitchen with new appliances, or you kind of do the rest of the house and leave the kitchen alone.
This is painted. This would be very inexpensive to do that, is to put some backsplash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'll give you another facelift look. It'll freshen things up.
So I felt like the walkthrough was super productive, and after that, Carrie went ahead and put together like an initial quote of kind of just the main things that she thought needed to be done and what the pricing would somewhat look like for that. So she sent over the quote, and I have it in front of me right now. It's a lot of different things that need to be done throughout the house. You have to do things like demo out the old floor, so you got to pay for the demo, and then install the new floor. So you're paying for the install, but then you're also paying for the flooring itself. So when you think flooring, it's 3 parts to it that you're paying for. So that can really start to add up. Now, this quote is just for the labor. It's not talking about the cost of the materials itself. But just to kind of quickly run through it, it's demoing out all the flooring, demoing out the kitchen counter, cabinet doors, drawers, relocating electrical plugs in the kitchen, removing fluorescent lighting, reframing 4 French doors in the dining room area to kind of make that into an office, doing the electrical for new lights in the dining room, new lights in the living room, lights in the hallway, it's all new guest bathroom, guest bathroom, it's all new towel washing, guest bathroom, new faucet, guest bathroom, mirror, taking out the old lighting in the master bedroom and installing new lighting. And then there's her fee, the project management fee, so that she can get paid for doing all this management and design consulting. Her fee is included in this cost as well. So this is just all the labor and her fee, and it comes out to about $15,000. Give or take. And this is just a quote, which means that's not really the final price, because you never know what's actually going to end up happening, what they're actually going to end up having to do as far as labor, and if they might have to charge me more or less. In my experience, it's always more. So let's just round it up to $16,000 for the labor for all the work that needs to be done throughout the home. Again, that does not account for the actual cost of the actual materials. We don't know how much that's going to cost until I actually start picking out the types of things that I want, because of course pricing varies depending on what kind of flooring you want. You could get something super cheap, you can get something super expensive. I mean, prices are all over the place. Of course, I'm not going to go crazy with it. I am not going to be putting in luxury flooring and luxury everything into this home. It is an investment property. It is a rental property. There's going to be people coming in and out renting this space. So we just need stuff that is of course going to look good and be of decent quality, but it just needs to be durable, and it needs to just be neutral and just, you know what I mean? Just kind of mid-range. We're not gonna be treating it the same way that I treated my home when I was picking out tile and flooring and, all of these artisan things. Of course, I want it to be cute. Again, I'm not just gonna make it super cheap and ugly, but I'm gonna be very reasonable. So who knows what the materials are gonna cost? I would just say, let's just put the same number on it. If the labor costs $16,000, let's just say the materials are gonna cost $16,000. Let's just go ahead and double that number, and give or take, that brings us up to $32,000. That should be more than enough. If my guess right now is that we're gonna be somewhere around 30K, and I don't even know if that's accurate or not. I don't know. I don't even wanna say anything on that, because I really don't know. We're just gonna have to see. But I did just kind of want to give you guys a general idea of the breakdown of all of that, what we're planning on doing, sort of an idea of the cost. But yeah, that is where I'm at. Next steps is to actually close on the house, pay that down payment, sign my life away, close on the house, get the keys. And then from there, I'm actually going to work with Carrie, the design consultant, project manager, and start shopping around for the materials, start picking stuff out, get the actual design together for the house. What's the color scheme? What kind of materials do I even want as far as the flooring and the countertops and everything like that? I'm literally going to go with her and literally shop around and pick things out with her. Like, she's gonna be able to guide me through it, and I'll be able to just do the fun part of like picking the colors. And once everything is purchased and picked out, then they're literally just gonna get started, like demoing everything out and then start installing everything back in. And she told me that, you know, once they actually get started, it should take no more than like 6 weeks altogether to do the whole house. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm really looking forward to that next step of actually going and picking everything out. So definitely stay tuned for that next episode. I'm gonna be vlogging and documenting everything. I don't know, I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. It's just a very surreal feeling to just know, like, I now own 2 properties. I own the home that I live in, and I now own an investment property. I mean, I don't technically own it until I close on it, I know, but like, what? Am I allowed to do this? Like, I mean, like I said in my other video, sometimes I just feel like I'm still a kid. And so it's like, who is letting me do this? Who is letting me own multiple properties? Am I old enough to do this? It just feels very surreal, but I'm super thankful, super grateful to be in a position where I'm able to do this and be able to share it with you guys and hopefully like inspire you guys and teach you guys something along the way. That is a big reason why I wanted to do this series, is to just be inspiring and motivating and educational, because this is something that's really important to learn about as far as generating generational wealth. You know what I mean? These are things that I want all young people to know about and know that it's possible. And even if you don't necessarily aspire to do this exact thing, just the idea of, you know, investing and building generational wealth in general, I really want to like inspire and educate you guys on that type of stuff. So I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. It's about to get a lot more fun because we're about to get into the nitty-gritty of, like I said, actually picking everything out and remodeling the home and stuff like that. But yeah, that's everything I have for this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.